New research from the American Heart Association suggests that intermittent fasting could lead to a 91% higher risk of cardiovascular death. Ooh, with more, we are joined by our resident medical expert and board-certified ER Dr. Michael Daignault. Good to have you, as always.
Good to see you.
So we, for years now, have been hearing all the benefits of intermittent fasting. And now this report, what do you make of it?
This was really shocking. Like you said, a lot of people do intermittent fasting, which means you eat all your meals within that 8-hour period. And the reason why everybody has done this is because it had proven benefits in studies before to reduce blood pressure, cholesterol, risk of heart disease. And now we have this new study that says, actually, if you do that, your risk of dying from cardiovascular disease doubles. So what to make of this study? I think everybody's kind of thrown for a loop with this. And so if you look at the study, in people who had underlying cardiovascular disease already or cancer, their chances of dying from cardiovascular disease doing the intermittent fasting was higher.
Okay.
So I think for most people, if you're healthy and you've had success with intermittent fasting to help with weight loss, for example, control of your blood pressure, you should continue to do that. And with any diet, it's always an issue of, one size does not fit all. If something works for you, it may not work as well for your neighbor, but if this is something that's worked well for you, you feel better, you're healthier, you should continue doing it. So now we have two different, studies here. One's in the past that said it was beneficial. This one from the American Heart Association saying that it might be. So I think the next step is we'll have an additional study that will sort of try to bring it all together. But for now, if you do it, it works. Don't worry.
Does it work for a lifestyle? Meaning, in other words, you do this every single day, intermittent fasting?
Right, so a lot of people do it Monday through Friday, and then like the weekends they'll just, let it go a little bit. But it really depends. I mean, it's just a matter of fitting all those meals into that 8-hour period. But I think the danger is if you already have cardiovascular disease and you try to eat all your calories within that period, it might overwhelm your system a little bit, especially if you're not exercising. So.
Okay, well, if you look at the calendar, today is the first official day of spring. That means a lot of sneezing. I had some itchy eyes today, a lot of things in bloom. We've had a lot of rain and therefore a lot of bloom. What do you do to combat seasonal allergies?
Right, so this is the one, with runny eyes, nasal congestion, sore throat. You're like, is it allergies? Is it a virus? Am I sick? If you don't have fever, you don't have systemic symptoms, and you're prone to allergies, it's probably just that, especially if you're visiting another area across the country. If you're coming here, you're going somewhere else. So I always recommend people, instead of jumping for medicine, try to use like a neti pot or like a nasal saline rinse. Remove the allergen from your nose. That's what's causing all your symptoms. You can mechanically remove that. That will help a lot. And if you're going to a different area, check and see if they have a farmer's market, because if you can get some local honey, that will really help acclimate yourself to the local environment, and it does really help prevent the allergies.
The neti pot, that works wonders. I've tried that, and it does clear you
Amazing,
out
right?
Like that.
Just be sure you boil the water or use distilled water. Don't use water from the sink, because there is a small risk that, you could get some kind of infection from the tap water. So.
Okay, yeah, don't end up in the ER, because, especially nowadays, because ER traffic is up all across the country, and you're seeing it in your very own ER. Why are more and more people heading to the ER?
And, I thought after the pandemic, things would slow down. And I think what we're seeing right now is a result of the pandemic. I mean, primary care doctors' offices had to close. Specialists had to postpone a lot of procedures. They're still playing catch up from the ones that I talk to, the ones that I work with. And patients that are coming to the ER are saying they've tried to get a primary care appointment, but they've been told 3 to 4 months out. And so, the ER is the safety net of society. I mean, I always equate it to the church in the Middle Ages, right? Like, the church was always open. If you needed food, you needed shelter, you needed to find religion. So now the ER kind of serves that purpose. I mean, we're always open, people, for whatever they need. They need medication refills, they need something to eat, someplace to stay. If they're homeless, they need to be seen for a medical condition. This is where they come. And so I don't see it getting better anytime soon. I mean, we really need to have more primary care doctors graduating residency. We need to pay them better. They're really just overrun trying to catch up with that backlog right now.
It's funny, true story. I got a reminder today that I do have my primary care appointment next week. I forgot that I made this 6 months ago because here it is, March 27th. Right? It took 6 months to get in.
That's what everybody's facing. Yep.
Okay, Dr. Daignault, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.